Chosen one, listen to me. There's a quiet strength moving within you right now. You might not see it in the mirror yet, but it's there. Alive, awakening, rebuilding everything you thought was gone. You are never meant to fade. You are meant to rise, to renew, to walk into every room carrying the calm fire of someone reborn. For too long, the world has told you that time is your enemy, that beauty fades, that youth slips away, but they were wrong. Youth is not a number, it's a state of the soul, and yours has just begun again. When your spirit decides to live fully, the body follows. The skin begins to glow differently, the eyes sharpen with purpose, the posture lifts, not from vanity, but from certainty. You can feel it, can't you? That quiet pulse of life saying, I'm not done yet. Chosen one, this is your renewal. Not a miracle from above, but a miracle from within. The kind that comes when you stop running from your story and start owning it. You're not behind. You're being rebuilt, stronger, calmer, younger in ways the world cannot measure. There's something powerful about a person who chooses to heal. When you decide to forgive the past, you unburden the body. When you release bitterness, you clear the lines from your face. When you replace resentment with peace, your heart beats differently. Healing is the real anti-aging. And now, as you listen, let this truth sink deep. You're not getting older, you're getting clearer. Every lesson you've learned has refined you. Every scar has sculpted you. Every loss has stripped away what wasn't essential so that what remains is pure, bright, and alive. Look at yourself. Not through the lens of time, but through the lens of wisdom. You carry light now, not worry. You carry peace now, not panic. The world will begin to notice. They will say, you look different, what happened? And you will simply smile and know, I started living again. If this message resonates with you, hit that like button. Not for me, but as a sign that you're ready to step into this new chapter. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls walking this same path of renewal and purpose. And listen, if you feel this energy stirring, type 777 in the comments right now. Not as superstition, but as a symbol of completion, of starting again with a clear heart. Let it be your declaration that your time of renewal has begun. Chosen one, you've carried so much. But what's coming now is not more struggle, it's restoration. Your body remembers how to glow. Your heart remembers how to love. Your energy remembers how to expand. The youth you thought was gone is waiting just beneath the surface, ready to rise the moment you choose peace over fear. You are stepping into a new rhythm of life, one where age bends to attitude, where faith becomes vitality, where calm becomes strength. You look younger not because time has changed, but because you have. You've decided to live from truth, not tension, from grace, not guilt, from power, not pressure. Take a breath. Feel it in your chest. That's not just air, it's renewal. It's the sound of everything inside you saying, we're still here. So stand tall, lift your head. The mirror is no longer your enemy, it's your witness. Let it see the transformation already beginning. Let it see the light in your eyes, the quiet proof that youth isn't gone. It has simply evolved into wisdom that glows. This is your moment, chosen one. You are not aging, you are awakening. Chosen one, you've been waiting for a sign. This is it. Something within you has been stirring, quietly asking, can I start again? The answer is yes. Right now, every day you wake up, your cells listen to the thoughts you think. Your body reacts to your belief about time. Speak to it with kindness and watch how it responds. Whisper to it, I am renewed. And it will listen. The world has taught you to fear the clock, but the clock is not your master, it's your witness. It doesn't steal your youth, it records your evolution. You don't need to chase 25. You need to remember it, because that energy, that light, that glow, it's still inside you. It never left. The glow you're seeking doesn't come from a mirror or a bottle. It comes from peace. Peace makes you radiant. Gratitude makes you magnetic. Joy makes you timeless. When you forgive yourself, your face softens. When you live with purpose, your eyes brighten. That's what people mean when they say, "You look younger." Listen carefully, chosen one. You are not in decline, you are in transformation. You are shedding layers of worry, fear, and self-doubt that aged you long before time ever could. The moment you let them go, your youth returns, not as appearance alone, but as spirit. Type 777 in the comments if you feel that truth in your chest. Say it silently or aloud. I am being restored. Let this be your declaration that the light is returning. Every breath you take is a message to the universe. I'm not giving up. Every choice to be kind instead of bitter is another wrinkle erased from the inside out. Every time you rest in faith instead of fear, your body sighs in relief. That's renewal. That's divine health. So don't chase what's gone. Create what's next. Your energy is your mirror. What you feed your soul becomes the reflection you see. The more you feed it peace, the more the world sees beauty. The more you feed it purpose, the more the world sees light. And let me tell you something powerful. Looking 25 years younger isn't about pretending. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you to shrink. Before doubt, before exhaustion, before you learned to hide your fire. You're not trying to become someone new. You're returning to who you've always been. That's why people will start to look twice. They'll say your smile feels different. Your walk feels lighter. They won't be able to explain it, but they'll feel it. Because energy doesn't lie. When your soul heals, your skin glows. When your heart is full, your face shines. If you're feeling this shift, pause for a moment. Hit that like button. Not for vanity, but as a sign that you are choosing life again. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls who are walking this path of renewal, strength, and peace. Chosen one, let me remind you, your worth has never aged. Your purpose has never expired. The same force that carried you through every storm still beats in your chest. That is life itself, and it never grows old. The lines on your face are not signs of loss. They're proof that you lived, that you felt, that you loved deeply. But now, new light is coming. Your spirit is cleaning the canvas, preparing to paint again with colors brighter than before. Do not say, "I am tired." Say, "I am transforming." Do not say, "It's too late." Say, "This is my time." Because every day you wake up with breath in your lungs, life is inviting you to begin again. Take that invitation. Rise from your regrets. Let your past become fertilizer for your future. What once drained you will now teach you. What once hurt you will now heal you. You are not chasing youth, you are embodying it. Because youth isn't in your skin, it's in your spirit, it's in your laughter, it's in your courage to believe that the best is still to come. You're standing at the threshold of a new season where peace is the fountain and joy is the cure. When you drink from it daily, gratitude, forgiveness, kindness, you reverse the aging that stress created. Chosen one, look at you now. You're calm, you are radiant, you are timeless. The world sees the glow, but only you know the truth. This is not makeup or miracle. This is alignment. This is peace. This is power. The next time you look in the mirror, don't look for flaws. Look for evidence that you survived, that you evolved, that you are still rising. Because you are. This journey is only beginning, and the best chapters of your beauty and purpose are being written right now. And if you feel it in your soul, type 777 again. Let the world know. The light within me has returned. Chosen one, There's something undeniable about you right now. A quiet shift, a change in the air around you. It's not your imagination, it's your energy. You've stopped fighting yourself and started aligning with life. When you find peace within, the outside world begins to follow. Your breath slows, your shoulders drop. And in that stillness, your body begins to remember what balance feels like. That's where your youth lives, in the moments you stop forcing and start allowing. You see, the secret isn't chasing time. It's learning to move with it, not against it. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you reclaim a piece of your glow. Every time you choose gratitude over bitterness, you take another year off your face. This is what real rejuvenation feels like. It's not about creams or clocks. It's about clarity. When the mind unclenches, the body follows. When you release resistance, energy flows again. Your skin brightens because your thoughts soften. Your heart steadies because your soul feels safe. You're not becoming younger by pretending. You're becoming younger by understanding. That's what people feel when they're around you. They don't just see you, they sense you. A calm confidence that radiates, a peace that glows louder than noise. Chosen one, that's your power. Not loud, not desperate, just certain. You carry a quiet flame that doesn't ask for attention but commands it anyway. That's why people turn their heads. That's why rooms shift when you walk in. You are a reminder that stillness is magnetic. Type 777 if you feel that rising inside you. It's not superstition, it's recognition. It means I see the change, I feel the return. Listen, your energy has memory. It remembers laughter. It remembers courage. It remembers the version of you that used to wake up excited just to exist. That spark never left. It's been waiting for you to stop apologizing for it. Let it rise. Let the laughter return. Let the rhythm of life hum in your chest again. That's how you look 25 years younger, by remembering how it felt to be alive before you learned to hold back. When was the last time you danced without reason? The last time you watched the sunrise just to feel the light? Those moments are medicine. They repair you in ways no doctor can measure. They remind your body what joy feels like, and joy is the ultimate rejuvenation. You see, age is not the enemy. Disconnection is. You grew tired because you forgot to connect. To yourself, to people, to purpose. But now, you're reconnecting. Every breath, every mindful step, every quiet smile is rewiring your energy back to life. That's why I say, you are entering a new season, a season of lightness, clarity, and power. You don't chase youth, you embody it. You live it every time you choose joy over judgment. Every time you replace self-criticism with compassion, and people will notice. They'll ask if you changed your diet, your skincare, your sleep routine. You'll smile because the truth is simpler. You changed your energy. You stopped carrying what wasn't yours to carry. You let go, and in letting go, you became light again. Chosen one, this is your rebirth. Not in years, but in rhythm. Life is flowing back into you, one moment at a time. You are becoming radiant, not because you're chasing beauty, but because you've remembered what peace feels like. So breathe deeper, walk slower, speak softer. Every act of mindfulness rewinds the wear and tear of worry. Every deep exhale tells your body, it's safe now. And when you feel safe, you heal. Look at yourself in the mirror tonight, not to judge, but to thank. Thank the body that carried you here. Thank the heart that never stopped beating for you. Thank the soul that refused to quit, even when you wanted to. That gratitude, that's where your glow begins. That's the spark that no wrinkle, no year, no storm can take from you. It's the light that's been waiting under every layer of doubt, ready to shine again. Chosen one, you are not returning to the past. You're stepping into your prime, not 25 years ago, 25 years forward, with all your wisdom intact and your light brighter than ever. You don't just look younger, you are younger, in spirit, in energy, in truth. Because youth isn't a season you lose, it's a state you return to when you start living fully again. So smile, not to hide time, but to honor it. You've earned your peace, and from this point on, every sunrise is your reminder. You are alive, you are light, you are limitless. Chosen one, when you begin to change, everything around you begins to listen. The world is not deaf to your growth, it feels your shift. Energy moves first, reality follows. You've seen it, how people who once overlooked you now pause, how situations that once resisted you begin to open, how peace slowly replaces chaos wherever you go. That's not coincidence, that's resonance. You have entered the stage of becoming magnetic, not because you're trying to impress, but because you finally align with truth. When you move with calm confidence, you don't chase, you attract. Every quiet breath of assurance tells the world, I am centered. And life responds to centered energy like gravity. It bends toward it. This is what power feels like without force. It's not loud, it's not desperate. It's steady, clear, undeniable. You've stopped reacting and started responding. You've stopped rushing and started realizing. You're no longer pulled by the noise outside because your inner rhythm has become stronger than the chaos around you. And something beautiful happens when that shift occurs. People feel safer near you. They may not know why, but your calm becomes a refuge. Your steadiness tells their nervous hearts it's okay. That's the quiet influence of someone who has made peace with themselves. The peace you cultivate within becomes medicine for those who forgot how to breathe easily. You see, chosen one, transformation isn't only about you, it's contagious. Every time you choose kindness instead of judgment, someone nearby remembers to do the same. Every time you stay calm in the storm, someone else learns that storms can be survived. Your light becomes a mirror, showing others what's possible. And the miracle of it all is that you never have to preach. You only have to be. Look around. The world is hungry for grounded souls. Not more noise, not more speed, but presence. That's what you are now. A presence that changes the atmosphere. When you walk into a room, you don't demand attention, but attention finds you. Not because of what you wear or what you say, but because people can feel when someone has done the work. They feel when someone has faced the darkness and come out whole. So stand tall, not in pride, but in quiet certainty. You are proof that healing is possible. Proof that softness can coexist with strength. Proof that time cannot defeat someone who lives intentionally. This is your new kind of youth. One that comes from clarity, not cosmetics. From compassion, not control. There's a rhythm to the way you move now. Each step is measured, each word deliberate. You no longer speak to be heard, you speak to connect. You no longer move to escape, you move to express. You no longer chase outcomes, you flow with purpose. That's what true maturity feels like. Lightness with direction, and your body knows it. It responds to peace like a plant to sunlight. Shoulders relax, breath deepens, eyes brighten. When the mind releases tension, the face releases age. When the heart feels safe, the muscles soften. This is biology working with grace. Chosen one, you've reached a place most people never allow themselves to go. The point where you stop trying to fix everything and start trusting your own evolution. You don't need to control the outcome anymore because you've realized the process itself is sacred. The journey is the reward, and every step forward is youth in motion. Notice how your perception has changed. You no longer see challenges as punishment. You see them as refinement. You no longer fear uncertainty. You read it as potential. This shift in vision is what keeps you young, because the mind that stays curious never grows old. The spirit that keeps learning never fades. So keep learning. Learn joy again. Learn rest again. Learn how to pause without guilt. Learn how to listen deeply, not just to others, but to yourself. Inside you, there is a quiet voice that always knows the next step. It doesn't shout, it waits for silence. That's why peace is powerful. It gives that voice room to speak. And as you follow that voice, the world adjusts. The right people appear. The wrong ones fade. The right doors open. The wrong ones close. You begin to realize you never needed to force anything. You only needed to align. This is your flow season, chosen one. Not hustle, not exhaustion. Flow. You wake up grateful. You move with purpose. You rest without guilt. You're not chasing time. You're living inside it fully. That's what balance feels like. That's what timelessness really is. And it's visible. You can see it in your reflection, in the softness of your eyes, in the ease of your smile. There's no performance there, just truth. You've traded pressure for presence. You've traded self-doubt for self-respect. That exchange alone rewires everything. Type 777 if you feel that resonance. Let it be your mark of arrival. The reminder that you are where you're meant to be, becoming who you were always meant to become. You've learned something rare. Chosen one. Youth is not a season, it's a vibration. It exists wherever gratitude lives. It grows wherever peace is practiced. It expands wherever love is allowed. And right now, it's expanding in you. Every smile you share becomes sunlight for someone else. Every calm breath you take lowers the temperature of a room. Every act of patience strengthens the collective heartbeat. You're not small. You're part of a current that's healing the spaces you touch. The more you live in alignment, the more the world mirrors your calm back to you. You'll notice how problems seem to resolve faster, how tension dissolves when you show up without fear, how opportunities appear when you stop forcing them. This is not luck. This is coherence. The outer world catching up to your inner state. And when doubt whispers, when old habits knock, remember this. You've already proven your resilience. You've already faced the dark and found your way out. There's no going back. You carry the blueprint of renewal inside you now. You can't unlearn balance. You can't unknow peace. You can only deepen it. Keep walking. The air ahead is lighter. The path may twist, but your center remains. You've become your own compass, guided not by noise, but by clarity. Each moment of peace adds years to your life, not measured in numbers, but in quality. That's the real secret to looking young. You've stopped living fast and started living real. Chosen one, there is a quiet discipline rising inside you. It's not about forcing progress. It's about showing up for yourself with consistency, with presence, with grace. You've learned that transformation isn't one dramatic moment. It's a rhythm, a steady pulse that builds strength over time. Every choice you make in calm conviction sends a signal to the universe. I am ready for more. You are no longer moved by impulse. You are moved by intention. That is the mark of someone who has matured into true power. The most powerful actions often look small. Drinking water before you reach for your phone. Stretching before you speak. Taking a deep breath before you respond. These gestures seem simple, but they reshape entire days. You've begun to live with awareness, and awareness sharpens everything. It slows time, it deepens joy, it softens fear. That's how change becomes permanent. It's built one mindful moment at a time. You are no longer chasing motivation. You are practicing devotion. Devotion to your peace, to your body, to your purpose. Motivation is a spark. Devotion is the fire that stays lit through the night. This is the difference between a fleeting rush and a lasting glow. You've learned that sustainability is the real luxury. The world celebrates speed, but you've discovered endurance. You're not a burst of energy. You're a steady current of renewal that never runs dry. The Discipline you are building now will outlast your moods. It will carry you on the days you don't feel inspired. It will whisper to you when everything feels heavy, reminding you that progress is not lost just because enthusiasm fades. You've made a covenant with your future self, a silent promise to show up even when it's quiet, to trust the process even when the reward isn't visible. That promise alone separates those who wish from those who evolve. There's something magnetic about commitment. When you stay true to your word, energy aligns around you. People start to respect your presence because you become reliable not just to others, but to yourself. And that self-trust, that unshakable belief that you will follow through, is what makes you radiant. Confidence isn't born from perfection, it's born from consistency. You've learned to move differently now. Not out of fear, not out of guilt, but out of choice. You've stopped saying yes when your soul meant no. You've stopped pouring into places that left you empty. Boundaries, once difficult, now feel like oxygen. They're not walls, they're filters that keep your energy clean. This clarity gives you longevity. This balance keeps your spirit youthful. Every time you say no to what drains you, you say yes to your growth. Every time you protect your time, you extend your life. Every time you choose rest over proving yourself, you allow your mind to regenerate. Renewal doesn't happen in chaos, it happens in calm. You're no longer addicted to exhaustion, you've traded it for focus. That single shift changes everything. You're discovering that real strength doesn't roar. It breathes. It stands quietly in integrity. It keeps promises without announcement. It grows roots before it blooms. The work you're doing behind the scenes, the moments when no one sees your effort, those are the hours that build unshakable foundations. You're not just living, you're crafting. Every calm decision, every patient pause, every moment of mindfulness is carving the architecture of your next chapter. And people will feel it. They'll notice the steadiness in your tone, the way you hold yourself, the grounded energy that follows you. It's not arrogance, it's stability. It's the calm of someone who no longer needs to prove their worth. You're not performing anymore. You're living in alignment, and that alignment speaks louder than any display. Chosen one, your habits are your silent prayers. What you repeat, you become. Every morning you rise with intention, you're rewriting your identity. Every act of care is a seed planted in the soil of your future. There is no wasted effort when it's done with awareness. Even your slow days are sacred. They teach patience, they build resilience, they keep you human. The world is changing in subtle ways because of you. The vibration you emit when you walk through your day, steady, calm, kind, ripples outward in directions you'll never see. A stranger feels safer because of your smile. A co-worker finds courage because of your patience. A friend remembers their worth because you listened without trying to fix them. These ripples add up. They become waves. You're proof that small things done daily build empires of peace. You don't need to shout to make impact. You simply need to keep showing up, steady as sunrise. People might call it discipline, but what you're really practicing is love. Love expressed through structure, through presence, through reliability. Love that says, I value this life enough to tend to it carefully. And this care is contagious. When others see you living with clarity and balance, they begin to believe it's possible for them too. That's how change spreads, quietly, from one steady heart to another. Your example is a language that needs no translation. You are teaching without teaching. You are leading without commanding. There will still be challenges, of course. There always are, but your response has changed. You no longer panic when things fall apart. You pause. You observe. You rebuild with wisdom instead of haste. That's evolution in motion. That's what maturity looks like. Not the absence of chaos, but the ability to remain composed within it. Your resilience has become instinct. Where others see obstacles, you see direction. Where others see delay, you see timing. You've learned to stop forcing doors that aren't meant for you. You've learned to recognize that rejection often means redirection. These realizations save you energy, and that saved energy is what fuels your youth, your glow, your calm. Type 777 if you feel that steady pulse of strength in your chest. It's not loud, but it's real. It's the rhythm of someone who no longer breaks under pressure, but bends with grace. Flexibility is your superpower now. You move like water, adaptable, unstoppable, clear, and you've stopped waiting for the right time. You've realized the right time is whenever you decide to begin. Procrastination is just fear disguised as preparation, and you've chosen courage instead. Each small action compounds. Each choice today shapes 10 tomorrows. You've stopped chasing overnight change and started respecting gradual progress. That patience is your quiet revolution. You've also stopped outsourcing validation. You no longer need constant approval to know your worth. You build from within, anchored in your own truth. Compliments are pleasant, but not necessary. Criticism no longer shakes you because you know it's filtered through someone else's lens. You take what serves your growth and leave the rest without resentment. That's liberation, and that liberation shows. You walk lighter, you speak slower, you think deeper, you live intentionally. You've entered a stage of elegance, not the kind measured by style, but by self-awareness. You wear grace the way others wear armor. It protects you without hardening you. It keeps you soft in a world that rewards sharp edges. Chosen one, you've mastered something extraordinary, the art of quiet progress. You no longer announce your plans. You embody them. You no longer explain your growth. You demonstrate it. You've realized that silence can be strategy, that patience can be power, and that humility can be the loudest statement of all. There's no rush. You've finally detached from the illusion of urgency. The world runs fast, but you move with purpose. You understand that depth always outlasts speed. You'd rather build something lasting than something loud. This mindset gives you presence. Presence gives you authority. Authority gives you peace. Keep nurturing the habits that feed your peace. Keep choosing rituals over distractions. The morning sunlight, the quiet cup of tea, the slow stretch before your day begins. These are your anchors. They keep you steady in a world built on noise. The stronger your inner world becomes, the softer your outer world feels. That balance is what makes life sustainable. You've stopped living from reaction and started living from rhythm. You no longer let the world dictate your emotions. You curate them. That's self-leadership, the highest form of freedom. You've learned that leadership begins at home, with how you treat your own thoughts. Your mind follows the tone you set. Calm commands clarity. And now that you've found clarity, you're learning influence. Not influence as in followers, but as in impact. Every act of integrity you perform sends ripples through the people who witness it. Integrity is attractive because it's rare. Consistency is magnetic because it builds trust. These qualities make you unforgettable. The beauty of your journey is that it keeps expanding. There is no final form. Every day you become more refined, more aware, more attuned. Growth isn't a peak, it's a horizon. It keeps unfolding as long as you stay open. Curiosity is your compass now. Wonder is your fuel. The moment you think you've arrived, you begin again, stronger, softer, wiser. And through it all, you remain human, feeling, learning, breathing, growing. You've realized that perfection was never the goal. Presence was, peace was, fulfillment was. These are the markers of a life well lived, and you are already living it in motion, moment by moment, breath by breath. Chosen one, you are beginning to notice how your peace changes the temperature of every space you enter. You walk in, and people breathe easier without knowing why. You speak and voices lower, tempers ease, hearts soften. It is not manipulation, it is coherence. You have become aligned enough that your presence restores order without a single demand. That is what real influence feels like. Subtle, stable, undeniable. It begins in conversation, where others rush to reply. You listen. You wait for truth to surface instead of racing to win the point. That patience disarms defensiveness. People who once guarded themselves start to open. They trust you not because you always agree, but because they feel seen. You've learned that listening is more powerful than persuasion, that empathy builds bridges faster than arguments. Your calm has become a mirror that shows others who they could be if they stopped fighting everything. You're also learning to let silence do its work. Silence is not absence, it's space. It allows thoughts to settle and emotions to reveal their real shape. You no longer fear pauses. You use them. In that space, clarity grows. You've become a master of timing, understanding that truth lands only when the heart is ready to receive it. That awareness gives you grace. Grace gives you connection. Connection gives you depth. In your relationships, the old patterns no longer fit. You've outgrown superficiality. You crave authenticity, not attention. Conversations that revolve around complaint feel heavy now. You seek the kind of exchange that nourishes. That's how you protect your energy. Not by isolation, but by elevation. You've realized that quality companions expand your peace, while draining ones shrink it. And because you've stopped fearing solitude, you choose better company. Chosen one, connection for you now is no longer about comfort. It's about resonance. You meet people at the level of frequency, not convenience. Some will fall away quietly. Others will rise to meet you. You don't chase either. You've learned that alignment does its own sorting. When you stay authentic, what is meant for you will orbit naturally. This new understanding has changed how you love. You no longer cling. You no longer fix. You no longer carry what isn't yours. You offer presence, not possession. You offer understanding, not control. That shift releases you and them at once. Love feels lighter now because it flows freely instead of being caged by fear. And when love flows freely, it rejuvenates everything it touches. The energy you bring to relationships has become medicine. You encourage growth just by being consistent. People find courage around you because your steadiness makes it safe to change. You don't push, you inspire. You don't demand, you demonstrate. The more you embody calm, the more others remember how to find it within themselves. That is leadership without domination. That is influence without ego. Your words have changed too. They've grown slower, softer, stronger. You speak less often, but each sentence carries weight because it comes from alignment, not reaction. Your tone no longer seeks to impress, it aims to connect. You've realized that honesty without compassion is cruelty, and compassion without honesty is weakness. Now you balance both. That balance makes you magnetic. Even in conflict, you move differently. You understand that anger is rarely about the moment. It's about pain unacknowledged. So instead of defending, you observe. Instead of escalating, you breathe. You give the other person space to meet themselves, and in doing so, you diffuse battles before they ignite. That's emotional intelligence at work, unseen but transformative. Chosen one, your environment is reflecting this evolution. Notice how your space has begun to shift. Clutter feels louder now. You crave simplicity because your mind has grown quiet. You clear what no longer aligns. Old objects, old patterns, old energy. Your home becomes an extension of your peace, a sanctuary that echoes your inner order. Even the light seems softer, more intentional. This is not coincidence. This is harmony manifesting. Your body also responds to harmony. Rest feels restorative instead of indulgent. Movement feels like expression instead of punishment. You've stopped working out of guilt and started moving out of gratitude. You stretch not to perfect your shape, but to feel alive within it. That difference is what gives your energy endurance. The body thrives when treated as a partner, not an enemy. You've started noticing beauty in places you used to overlook. A quiet morning light across the floor, the rhythm of rain, the way laughter echoes differently when you're present. You're learning to experience life in full resolution, no longer rushing through it, but savoring it. That kind of awareness rewires your nervous system for joy. It trains your senses to find renewal in the ordinary. As your awareness expands, your creativity follows. Ideas begin to flow again because you've cleared the static that once drowned them. You start to see solutions instead of problems, patterns instead of obstacles. Creativity isn't something you chase. It's something that happens naturally when you stop crowding your mind with worry. Inspiration is a byproduct of stillness, and through this creative flow, you begin to contribute differently. You build, you share, you uplift. You're no longer driven by competition, but by contribution. The question that guides you now is not, how do I win? But, how can I serve? Service, for you, isn't sacrifice. It's expression. It's the natural overflow of a life aligned with purpose. And that expression feeds the collective in ways that no external reward ever could. Chosen one, leadership has found you, not in titles or authority, but in example. People are watching how you carry yourself, how you recover, how you treat others when no one is watching. You lead by being grounded. You influence by being consistent. You heal by being human. Your authenticity gives permission for others to do the same. That is the quiet revolution, ordinary people choosing consciousness over chaos. This is how communities change, one aligned individual at a time. You are that catalyst. You don't have to convince anyone. You only have to live the truth so fully that denial becomes impossible. Presence is persuasive. When people witness peace embodied, they remember their own capacity for it. You've become a living reminder that another way is possible. One built not on fear, but on awareness. The more you practice this way of living, the more you realize how interconnected everything is. The stranger's smile, the bird's song, the hum of the city at dawn, they're all part of the same rhythm you move to. Life stops feeling separate. It becomes symphonic. Every small action you take sends ripples through this music of existence. That realization gives you reverence. Reverence turns into responsibility. Responsibility, for you, is no longer a weight. It's an honor. You treat time, people, and energy with care because you understand their value. You give without depletion because you've learned to replenish. You listen without losing yourself because you've learned boundaries. You rest without guilt because you've understood that rest is part of contribution. That understanding keeps you in balance, and balance sustains beauty. In this state, even ambition feels different. It no longer burns from scarcity. It glows from abundance. You're still striving, but from a place of fullness, not lack. You want to expand, not escape. You want to express, not prove. That difference shifts outcomes. Your goals become reflections of purpose rather than compensation for pain. You've learned that fulfillment isn't in achievement, it's in alignment. Success built from exhaustion fades. Success built from authenticity lasts. So you take your time, you let things unfold. You've stopped measuring progress in applause and started measuring it in peace. That's the new metric of maturity. Calm as confirmation. Chosen one, your life has become a dialogue between what is within and what surrounds you. Each choice you make echoes outward, shaping environments, inspiring hearts, restoring balance. You may not see all its effects, but they accumulate quietly. You're writing change in invisible ink across every space you inhabit. That's what influence without effort looks like. You've realized that impact doesn't require perfection. People don't need flawless heroes. They need real examples. They need to see growth in progress, compassion in action, humility in motion. You provide that simply by being sincere. Sincerity is rare enough to feel revolutionary. And while the world still moves fast, you move true. You measure days not by how much you did, but by how much you felt. You end nights not asking, was I productive, but was I present? That shift redefines success entirely. You have begun to live with meaning instead of momentum, and that choice radiates far beyond what you can see. This is how light multiplies. Not by force, not by noise, but by steady presence that refuses to dim. Each moment you live in awareness adds another spark to the collective fire. Each act of patience becomes another thread of harmony woven into the fabric of humanity. You are part of something vast, something quietly magnificent, and it moves through you effortlessly. You are not trying to change the world. You are embodying a better one. Each breath you take in peace plants a seed in the unseen. Each genuine smile becomes proof that hope still exists. Each calm decision becomes a foundation someone else can stand on. This is legacy, built breath by breath, choice by choice, presence by presence. Start script, part 7. Chosen one, there is a deeper layer of influence unfolding inside you now. You've begun to realize that the energy you cultivate doesn't stop at the edges of your skin. It travels farther than words ever could. It touches people who will never know your name. It moves through gestures, through tone, through presence. This invisible current is your true work now, shaping the atmosphere of every space you enter, through the way you exist within yourself. You've started to see how energy exchanges happen in everyday life. A smile at the stranger who looked away, a nod to the one who feels unseen, a moment of patience in traffic when frustration could have ruled. These are not small acts, they are calibrations. Each one brings the world closer to balance. Every human encounter is an opportunity to choose coherence over chaos, and you're choosing coherence again and again. That repetition rewires the collective. Your interactions have grown simpler, but also sharper. You no longer speak to impress, you speak to clarify. You don't listen to reply, you listen to understand. That difference makes people lean in. They can sense that you aren't waiting for your turn to talk. You're genuinely there, fully present. Presence itself has become your gift. It costs nothing, yet it heals everything it touches. In your presence, others remember their own strength. They remember what calm feels like, what dignity sounds like, what respect looks like. You hold space, and that space allows them to unfold. There is no pressure to perform, no need to defend. You've replaced judgment with curiosity, and curiosity invites connection. That is how you build harmony, one conversation at a time. This harmony begins to reflect in your work too. Creativity flows more naturally now. You no longer push ideas into being, you let them arrive. Inspiration meets you halfway because you've created room for it. You've learned that the mind can't force brilliance, it must relax into it. The best ideas come in silence, not in struggle. So you've stopped chasing productivity and started cultivating clarity, and clarity always multiplies results. There's a rhythm to the way you create now. You begin with stillness, move with precision, end with gratitude. Each project carries your signature calm. People feel it when they interact with what you've built, the steady energy behind every detail. Your work no longer screams for attention, it invites attention. It draws people in gently, because what is made in peace carries peace within it. You've become the type of person who elevates everything you touch simply by caring. Care is your craft now. You handle even the smallest tasks as if they matter, because you've learned that everything does. the way you tie your shoes, the way you close a door, the way you speak to a cashier. Each action declares who you are becoming. Precision is not pressure, it's presence applied to movement. That's mastery, and mastery is showing up everywhere. You've stopped confusing busyness with importance. You understand that value lies not in how much you do, but in how well you do it. Efficiency is no longer your goal. Effectiveness is. You complete less, but you complete deeply. The things you finish stay finished because you gave them the right attention. This is how you build legacy without rush. Chosen one, your sense of time has changed again. The hours feel wider now. You move slower but accomplish more because your energy is no longer scattered. You've realized that when you focus fully, moments stretch to hold miracles. That's how life expands. Not by adding more, but by being more. Focus turns minutes into eternity. Your relationship with challenges has matured too. You've stopped asking, "Why me?" and started asking, "What's this teaching me?" That single shift transforms pain into wisdom instantly. You no longer resist discomfort because you've seen what it creates in you: depth, empathy, strength. You've learned to breathe through it, to let it carve space inside you for greater compassion. Each hardship has become a sculptor shaping your grace. You meet tension with awareness now. You observe without collapsing. You allow emotion to pass through you instead of trapping it. That's how healing works. Not by denial, but by movement. You've turned emotional intelligence into a physical practice. Breath replaces reaction. Stillness replaces suppression. The energy that once turned into stress now turns into strength. The deeper you go into awareness, the more your perception of people changes. You no longer label quickly. You sense what lies beneath behavior. Anger looks like pain. Arrogance looks like fear. Withdrawal looks like exhaustion. This seeing doesn't excuse actions, but it explains them. It allows forgiveness without foolishness, compassion without compliance. You've become wise enough to understand without absorbing. Boundaries now feel like kindness instead of defense. You can say no with warmth, enough with love, goodbye with gratitude. You've realized that closure doesn't always mean conversation. Sometimes it's simply peace. You end cycles without anger because you've learned that endings aren't punishments, they're clearings. Each release creates space for renewal. Renewal shows in how you carry your day. You wake with intention instead of alarm. You move through tasks like a dancer through rhythm, unhurried, graceful, deliberate, even when the world demands urgency. You bring steadiness. That steadiness influences systems around you. Teams find rhythm, families find ease, chaos finds structure. You've become the tuning fork that brings others back to balance. People often ask what your secret is, but there isn't one. You've just stopped doing things that go against your nature. You've stopped pretending you don't care when you do. You've stopped forcing outcomes that drain you. You've stopped measuring your worth in comparison to noise. Authenticity has simplified your life more than discipline ever could. Simplicity, for you, has become luxury. The fewer things you cling to, the freer you feel. The less you explain, the more you express. The less you consume, the more you create. This economy of energy gives you clarity. You've discovered that abundance is not about excess. It's about alignment. When nothing is wasted, everything becomes wealth. The people drawn to you now mirror this simplicity. They speak less about others and more about ideas. They value pauses as much as conversation. They match your calm with their own rhythm. Together, these connections create a web of balance, a quiet network of souls moving differently in a world that rushes. This is how new cultures begin, not with revolution, but with example. Chosen one, your perspective on success has matured again. You've stopped chasing peaks and started building plateaus, so steady states of purpose you can stand on. You've realized that the thrill of arrival fades, but the peace of progress lasts. You measure greatness not in applause, but in alignment. When your actions and values meet, you call that success. When your days end with integrity, you call that victory.